11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess on my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables. Now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it. That's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking. They don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Okay, break. 55. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check. Be 50.
A run right side, it's Bettis. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The second down pass.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Hey, watch it. Check. 2 for 1.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike 54. Kill. Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, watch the slant.
From the gun, here's Goff. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Like 20. 52's the mic. Let's go, D. I got him. On me. Mike 52. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Bang. More now.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Quit talking about it and bring it. He's mine. Mike 5-4. It's a party now.
Goff now looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. So we got man. Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 2nd and 15 now. Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
Out of the gun. Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Andy Isabella, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he'll give it here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Go. Go. Kill.
Hey, Delta. General West. Get it.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Man open, it's Moss, complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Deuce.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Let's go.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That one complete to Bettis. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
Check three.
5.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Now this time he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Now!
58's to Mike. 58's to Mike.
Yo, go! Let's go!
They'll set up a throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's caught at the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 35. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Second and goal at the 10-yard line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Steelers 7, Browns nothing.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal.
Jump, 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 hey, kill.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hardball. Let's go.
Hey, Alpha.
Number 53, Mike 53. All right, D, let's go. All right, D.
Mike 53. Ric Flair.
Mike, I'm here all day. Check 43. Check. Fresno.
Now Goff on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now gone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
And that's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go right here now. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to
under a heavy rush. rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
53 for Mike. 53. Check 53.
After the run, Goff going to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. 2 for 66.
53 for Mike. 53 for Mike. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs.
DC.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
53's Mike. Check 53's Mike. In the face.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Goff. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
53 for Mike. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Here's Goff. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. T.J. Hockenson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Goff looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together. 53.
On 3rd down, Swift, and he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Mike 20.
Mike 4. Watch the run.
Goff on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
The Browns drive about to get started. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's now 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
Check 53 is mine. Check pass. Check pass.
Hey, 5.
Let's go.
They run the counter. Swift. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down.
Motion. Kill.
Goff now to throw. And that will be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
This is taken at the 10. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Got it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
D-line, get that quarterback. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line.
At their own 44-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you... And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play that time for Cleveland. 47 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass.
You ain't going nowhere.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. The throw over the middle taken in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
5.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Hey, Foxtrot.
He don't know no better. Mike 56. Mike 56.
To throw is gone. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
From the gun, here's Gone. Able to find Isabella. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
A 28-yard gain. And the Steelers first down.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
We go tonight. 180.
56. Push him back. Push him back.
On first down, Swift. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
No gain on the play there, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 53.
Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Throwing on third. Gone. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off play action. Here's Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Goff now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Swift. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. As his guys continue to pour. Extra point splits the upright.
Kick is good. Makes the score Steelers 45, Browns 10. Michael Dixon sets the kickoff.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You got nothing.
Now a give running left. It's Bettis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's good for a Cleveland first down and 11-yard pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And the Steelers first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
We go to the 180.
Number 53. Mike 53.
On the ball.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.